Let's do a course overview of CS211 or applied computing. So the first thing that you're going to learn in this course is you're going to go through the introduction. So under the introductory part, you're going to look at what software engineering is and the software development models that are there. And under this course, you look at two. You're going to look at the waterfall model and the spiral model. But for software development in this course, you're going to be using the waterfall model. The spiral model, you just skip the theory part of that. Okay. After you do the introduction, you're going to move on to MATLAB. You're going to understand what MATLAB is, the features that it has, and its advantages. And you'll find that this will be the primary software development environment that you'll be using under this course. Okay, after you look at MATLAB, you move on to flow controls. And you find that these are methods or ways that you can structure your code efficiently so that you're just not writing code anyhow, but it has a way in which it is flowing. Okay, so after you look at flow controls, you understand them, you look at iterations where you get to appreciate things like for loops, while loops, and get to understand their importance, especially when you're writing code that requires part of the problem that you're solving to loop. So you find that you'll be utilizing while loops and for loops in those cases. After you do iterations, we'll look at functions, get to understand what they are, the advantages, and how to apply them as we write code. Okay. After all of this, you're going to do a little bit of C++ as well, but all the concepts that will be required for you to do in C++ are being covered from the introduction up to the last part, functions. So the other thing that I want you to understand is how the CS tests are structured, and find that the CS tests are structured in this way. 50% of the paper requires you to know how to code. So get a basic idea of how to write code, and the other 50% of the paper requires you to understand the course content. Like they ask you to define something. What is the waterfall model? Describe its stages. What is a bug? What are the classes of a bug? What are the importances of functions? Those things you get to write and describe. So if you look at this, you find that a CS test paper is a well-rounded off paper where both parties will get to benefit. Those who are more strong when it comes to programming, or those who are more strong when it comes to describing or explaining the course content. Okay. The last thing that I want you to understand is that this is not a MATLAB course. What we want you to understand under CS211 is computational thinking, how you can use scientific methods to build softwares that solve a given problem. Okay, so you're going to understand most of these things as we go through the course content. Okay, and I'm going to be your primary tutor for this course. So as you follow the lessons of the videos that you'll be sending, you might find that maybe I haven't touched on some of the things that are in the lecture notes. What I want you to understand is that those parts that I'll not be touching, they're highly unlikely to come in a test paper. So I'll be getting those core things that I know that okay, these things usually come. So with all these things said, we're going to meet in the videos that I'll be sending as we go in depth of the introduction, what MATLAB is, flow controls. Yeah, so we're going to meet in those videos. With that, that is where we're going to end our course overview.